Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business, man.
This is your favorite rap, but I ain't name dropping. You seen me with Dr. Dre, Martha Stewart, and heard me when I'm dropping it like it's hot. But when I visit RVA, I always stop by the Mike King Biz radio studio at ESPN Richmond. Why? To talk to the hottest business voice in RVA, Mike King Biz. He is the voice of RVA business.
Yes, it is Mike King here, the voice of RVA business. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up. Yes, I do have some famous friends in here with me right now. Not the ones you just heard.
Oh.
No. Those are just people,
I was looking for you to introduce them, make it, But hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the mic, Mike King here. Stacie Bradley Goodman is here trying to start some mess. And John Rabel is not here. I do not want to have to engage with his services. Right, I understand that because I am not using people's names and likenesses. So if you think it is somebody,
it is.
I don't know. It may be, maybe not, but I'm not saying any names.
Could be.
It could be. It could be.
I understand.
But you know what? Because we do have a budget here.
Yes.
And it's not very big to bring in talent. So that's why I rely on my good friends here. One of Mike King here. It is Chamber Wednesday. I got El Presidente. Karen is with us. Karen Webb in the building. Also, I got my operations lady, Stacie Bradley Goodman of Orgamic Solutions. Welcome back to the program, ladies.
Yay, thank you.
All righty, Karen, let's start off with the Chesterfield Chamber. Before you get started, that was a very successful restaurant launch.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was
Wonderful. And
yeah.
we're still reaping the benefits from it, and thanks to Chesterfield County for putting so much effort into that making us a part of it. We're just thrilled.
That's a dynamic combination. Chesterfield County as well as with the Chesterfield Chamber. You're putting it together, so we come up with Restaurant Week. All right, so tell us about the Chesterfield Chamber.
Chesterfield Chamber, as most people know, is an association here in Chesterfield County its main focus is to support the businesses, both small and large, within the county, and also to give them the opportunity to network with each other so that we build stronger networks and the county becomes one cohesive group within the business world.
Big organizations, small organizations, everything in between, all coming together for good. All right, Stacie Goodman, you are our operations expert. Ma'am, tell us who you are and what you do.
I am Stacie Goodman. I am the founder and the principal consultant of Orgamic Solutions, a operations consulting firm here. We do small business advisory and large solution consulting for the Richmond area.
And you are one of the sponsors of, both you guys are sponsors of On the Mic. We appreciate it, as well as the sponsor for my 5th anniversary happy hour. That is going to be something there that
we are very.
That is going to be something what we've done 5 years, talking to the best and the brightest of RVA. That's what we do here on a daily basis. All righty, really quickly. So, Stacie, I'm going to go over to you really quickly. So, Karen's new to the position. It was what it was before, transitioning to a new leader. Let's talk about the operations side. So, businesses, whether it is a mom and pop, a solopreneur, whatever, there's points in a business where you have to make changes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make changes. What do you need to do so there's a smooth transition?
The main thing is a communication plan and a transition plan. Not always do you have that opportunity, but with the chamber, you had Danielle and then Amy and now coming into Karen. And so there is how I am, process documents.
There's a process, yes.
Documentation is so critical because it helps someone coming in new. If you have an operations manual that talks about your people's roles and responsibilities, as well as how they interact with how the roles interact with each other, the processes and the technology that you use. Those are the basics and ops that we focus on. If you have that, you can hand it over. It gives them a starting point to have education. educated conversations with their cohort. So it gets you fast track to moving into, okay, now tell me what's not in the on the paper, right? So that's critical for transitioning. There should also be one of the things. So I'm going to be one of the speakers for the business summit coming up in April.
That's a big deal.
And that was launched from a discussion we had back in November on succession planning and being able to prepare ahead of time in the event that you're going to, someone is going to transition in or out of a role. What will that look like? How would that happen? So if you're proactively approaching that, it's much smoother because you already have a game plan of how you're going to bring somebody on. But also, we're going to be talking about in April what happens if suddenly that key person is gone. And how do you deal with that transition when that institutional knowledge has left? And you have other things of, even with small businesses, when you're a solo owner, what happens if I were to pass away and I still have employees and contracts that are in flight? Who's going to handle that? How is that going to transition? And it's not something we want to think about on a regular basis because we're busy in the here and now.
In the moment.
So, but it is for an operations focused person and the executive level people, it's very important to think ahead.
There you go. Yesterday, Karen Webb, 3 months, 2 months. Time flies when having fun. All righty. Some really big things happening at the chamber. Let's go down and list some of the things that's happened. I missed Chamber Night Out. How was that?
It was excellent.
Yeah, I bet.
It was truly excellent. And to have that be the one that kicks us off for the year, it just shows good things are coming for the rest of the year. So we probably had close to 80 folks there in attendance, which for February Chamber Night Out, that's wonderful. So we were thrilled.
Chesterfield members
worked out great.
turn out. You travel well.
Yes, we did.
And so that's the thing about the organization with the Chesterfield Chamber. All right, ma'am, let's go down the list. I know you got it.
Yep, I do. So we've got our next chamber luncheon on the 13th of March. And our speaker for that is going to be Not Pham from Success Works.
All right, so that, okay, he's, now he does long history, and plus he knows everybody.
Right.
He knows some things.
Right, and he's going to be talking to us about the framework to achieve the vision for your business, which should be a very good talk, and one I think most of us need to hear, even if you know it and you feel in it every day. Because again, as you said, we're in the here and now, and sometimes focusing on the vision just doesn't come into play during a day-to-day thing. So I'm excited about listening to him. Our next one is our Ready, Set, Hire event, which will be a virtual event, but what that is with Chesterfield schools, that we have business owners and business folks that are our chamber members who actually do virtual interviews and some of the soft skills training with some of the students from Chesterfield County, especially their workforce development program. So we're excited about that. Of course, the one that we've got coming up that we're really excited about now, and
we're here. Okay.
But we've got Restaurant Week coming up.
What's the number now? Hold on 1 second before you. One of Mike, Karen Webb, Stacie Goodman here. We're talking about Restaurant Week. 1 second here. Sound effects. What's the number?
We have 39 restaurants participating.
Wow. And you know, when we looked at the 39, man, it's something on there for everybody.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's not just all one type.
No.
And there's 39 businesses who have operations issues. They're selling things. They're doing services. 39 of them joined up for the very first Restaurant Week.
Right, and that's going to be March 29th through April 7th, and yes, it's longer than a week, but we have 10 days in our week for Restaurant Week.
It's spring break week too.
It is.
That's right, so we're going to be out there, the best of Chesterfield, I mean, all across the county. Right. There's something out there for everyone.
Right, so we're good with that. Of course, as was just mentioned by Stacie, the Business Solutions Summit is coming up. And we've got great speakers coming in. We've got great workshops that we're all excited about. My problem is I haven't figured out how I'm gonna get to each one of the
So that's
workshops
what-
since they're all
That's
going
what,
at the same
so,
time.
you didn't know that you would need skates when you
Yeah,
came,
exactly.
because this one, and it is at the Chesterfield Town Center, is that where it is?
Yep.
And that's the thing, because,
Tech center.
the tech center, is that what they call, oh, what is that
Town
called?
center's
Town
the
center.
mall.
I was just there, yeah, I was just there, my
I was
wife,
like,
did.
you going to the mall?
We're going
No,
to
we're
the-
not going to the mall.
Yeah, we had to stop by the mall and get the grandkids some things yesterday. It's the tech center, not the mall, ladies and gentlemen. No, it is not. So, and the thing is, the meetings are in different rooms, and we go, a different room has a different feel to it.
Uh-huh.
And then we all get together for the luncheon part. It's just a great time. It's kind of like a who's who.
Absolutely.
And when we talk about networking, Stacie, you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta let people know. You gotta be in the right room. You don't need to be looking up in the window. You need to be here in the room to make magic happen.
I can't, Tim says I can't sit in the back corner anymore.
No, man.
You
You're not
cannot.
allowed to.
I'm not saying you gotta be the squeaky wheel, but you gotta make a little bit of noise, and that is the time that we live in. So, it's one of the reasons why Jonathan is out there talking about the chamber. He's the sales guy for the chamber. But he got a couple hundred people selling for him because they believe in the message.
Right.
They got me saying, hey, that Chesterfield chamber thing is working.
Right.
They got chamber members saying, hey, all you got to do is come here to this luncheon and you walk in. I know it seems like 1 million people. I get that. It's not 1 million. It just seems like 500,000. But you go a couple times, and next thing you know,
Well, you meet them one by one.
yes,
And that's, like we had, so we're having our launch this week. We're rebranded.
there you go.
We launched our new website on Monday, but in order to do that, we worked with Tiffany Green on our branding strategy.
Shout out to
Attention to growth. We worked with Karen Tigner, who designed our logo. We worked with John Rabel, who helped us with all our copywriting and all our legal stuff. We worked with Brian Tinker at Tinker HR to help get, help me hire somebody to do this stuff because I needed help. But all of those are chamber members. And so I started out with a connection with Jennifer Kell with Robin's Hope, a nonprofit, who introduced me to Miss Bernadette. And then I had swim experience I wanted to be able to share. So I got introduced through Miss Bernadette to the DEI committee,
And then
which met Kaisha, and then
Off
it
to the
just kept
races.
going and go. And I met Tiffany through Robin's Hope, and now is spread out and continues to grow. Then I met Mike. Mike and I have a lot of people in common that I didn't know, and so that's how I think, especially somebody who's more introverted, can slowly understand the growth and the connectivity and the value that the chamber brings. And so as you get one thing at a time over the last 2-3 years, now I'm speaking, this is like, I'm
Now you're
excited.
there.
You know?
There you go, talking about, because being an entrepreneur can be lonely. And a lot of times people think of chambers of commerce as a good old boy network, old men sitting sitting there smoking cigars, telling big war stories about, back in the day. But you don't have to. I remember like Karen Tigner, Kaisha, Aaron Owens, all those people are new. And then all of a sudden, that's the new energy for the chamber. Do you combine that with the folks who've been there, like Amy Dufour or YB? Next thing you know, you get people, you come in, and next thing you know, it connects you this person, that person. It's a whole, as our friend Tiffany Green would say, it's an old ecosystem.
It is.
There's an internal one and an external one. See, Tiffany Green, I am listening. That's right. That Tiffany Green without the E, but the E is silent. We've had that come. I got to drop that video of when I called her.
I did see that.
Yes.
Yes.
That was problematic. All right, on the mic is Mike. We're here, Karen Webb, Chesterfield Chamber. How can people find out information about the chamber?
Easiest way is go to our website, chesterfieldchamber.com, and we can click on all of the drop downs for all of our events, all of our membership opportunities. all of our sponsorship opportunities, and it'll tell you exactly who to talk to and give you contact
There
information.
you go, Stacie. What's happening with Origami Solutions? You guys, it's a lot of big things happening.
It's a lot of big things. I had to make a list. We
You got
got
a
so
list.
many things.
Well, you're a
but
list maker anyway.
I am a list
But
maker.
this one right here is even bigger than
This is a big list for me. So we're excited. We've rebranded. So we are now Navigators to Operations Excellence. And so we have I'm taking a page out of Mr. Mike
I
King's
see
book.
that. I like that.
And I have a new logo, trying to brand myself in a mobile manner. But so
Let me ask you this now. How long have you been wearing that? Today. Okay, before the end of the week, think about how many people are going to say, "What's that?"
Right.
Tell me. And that's the conversation starter, which is then you don't have to tell people who you are to start the conversation.
Exactly.
It works. It's a beautiful thing.
And they'll learn to love our paper airplanes because it follows origami's methodology of incremental change
I did learn that from you.
Move things from ordinary to extraordinary. So the new website is up, and it's to support our growth through incremental growth, where we started out doing just basic consulting. Now we're for larger firms in the Commonwealth. Now we're focusing on small businesses and making it affordable through a subscription model. So I'm also an Empower People advisor. So we're doing training over there, but we'll also be providing the blogs that I've written and published through the Chesterfield Chamber, and future blogs that we're adding, some basic training of 101s for operations for free. And then there will be a variety of subscription options so that it's affordable to the small business based on where they are in their business maturity. So if they're learning and they're just starting, you don't want to take the advanced classes, right? You may want to join a group discussion, to get your feet wet. And so those are going to be at affordable and incremental investment levels. And so that was our focus, is to make education and make support available to the small businesses. So we're excited about that. That will be continuing to grow and evolve. We also are, again, proud sponsors of Mike
There
King.
you go.
So
yes.
we are focusing on our community involvement right now. So we're working with Mike. We are getting involved with the chamber more. My colleague, coworker Tim, he was at the chamber night out, and we met a gentleman named Warren, who is involved with the
Boys to Men.
The Boys to Men program. And
Shut
so
up.
Tim is going to be involved in helping with that program, trying to get my husband to go out there as well, to help with the Highland Springs. I'm working with Monacan High School's business program. They are doing the Chief's Closet. And so they're collecting clothes for homecoming, prom, accessories, suits for kids who can't afford to go and purchase those items to be able to participate in those events and continue to support the socialization in that school. My son goes there, and so we're very excited to support that. We're going to be working with other high schools in your program to do the interviews. So we want to help and support the upcoming generation of future entrepreneurs, as well as the current small business community. So we are.
You guys got something. It's one thing when you talk about people doing good and you mention one name. It's the first name. Oh, it's from Ann Warren. Boys to Men. They're doing some outstanding things. Business can help society be better. That's one of the great things I like partnering with Origami Solutions and the Chesterfield Chamber. Alrighty, Karen, you're getting to be, you've been in this nonprofit world a long time. This is at a different level. Now people rolling up on you going, hi, and you're like, hi. Did I just draw a blank? People know you as the chamber president now. Let's talk about that transition.
It's been interesting.
Yeah,
it's
I
been
bet.
very interesting. And thank goodness I have all of my career been good up until now of being able to remember names. Now I can remember. I found, and I said this to my staff yesterday, I'm finding myself, if your name is Stacie, you might in my mind be Stacie, or you might be Sharon, or you might, it starts
Hey,
with the
I
same,
the same.
but you know, and as one of my, well, Jonathan says to me, just walk up and go, well, hey, you, how you doing today?
So you know what?
I
That's
learned
a
that with marching band instructor. When you instruct 100 kids, they're like, "We know you." I'm like, "And how are you doing today?"
And let me tell you,
They don't
that's a salesperson.
know.
Because you don't know, because all of a sudden you had a specific role for a specific organization.
Right.
Now everybody's coming to you in all different fields.
Right.
And people are like, they want to know because they see the power of the chamber. Well, congratulations, ladies, on all the great things you guys have going on. I'm going to see you later this week. Hey, shout out to Women Who Drive. That is a collaboration between Kelly Till, Lori Warren. Kelly is with the Richmond Times Dispatch, as well as Lori Warren with the Richmond Raceway, doing some amazing things, highlighting women who are doing some big things. I'm one of the sponsors, along with my man Dean Francis out there. We're the AV sponsors. These are people who are out there making a difference in the community. Origami Solutions, always a pleasure. Yeah, you move from the corner to the middle of the room. We're not gonna put you in the front yet because I don't want to be in the front, but you know,
I'm dragging you with me.
I know, and that's uncomfortable. Who's the guy looking kind of squirrely? Yeah, it is me. But you know what? We're doing it for a good cause. So, Origami Solutions. One last time, how can people find you?
Go to origamicsolutions.com. You can find us on LinkedIn and Facebook under Origamic Solutions. You can find me on Instagram at Solution Shaper or at Empower People. I'm also known as Solution Shaper there.
I love that one.
And
Where else were we?
And Tim is out there.
and Tim Pisani. If you see him, he's my number one.
He's your guy.
And he's my guy, and I am eternally grateful to have had the opportunity to bring him on board. He's amazing.
Because he gets it. A lot
He's
of
my
times
co-pilot.
he is, it's hard to find a person who's a technician person who can speak English.
Yeah.
And he can talk both sides of it and explain and talk to business owners that you're not out there by themselves. That is the one thing. That's the part that the Chesterfield Chamber does. It shows you that, you're not alone. At 6 a.m. when you think you're grinding, you're not the only one. There are other people grinding too.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Having him on board now has just elevated, how I see and what I feel capable of doing, because he is really responsible for helping to launch the website and to get out at the, and for additional chamber events that I can't always make. And so if you see him, please, stop and chat with him. He's a wonderful person.
There you go, Karen, one last time. Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce, the world famous Chesterfield, not the one that Jonathan went to in Missouri.
That's true.
It would only be a sales guy like Jonathan that you're riding by, you work for the Chesterfield Chamber, and there's a Chesterfield Chamber halfway across the country, and you go in.
Yeah, well, we've also found out that there's a Chesterfield Chamber in Europe as well. We got a call for them the other day, and I tried to figure out how I could get there, but it
that didn't work. You weren't like a road trip like Jonathan.
Right.
No, this requires, going across waters. On the mic of Mike, Stacie Goodman, Karen Webb. We got to go. These ladies got stuff to do. They just can't hang out with me all day. Stacie Briley, she's become the tech queen now.
I know, I'm learning.
Shout out to her.
Your tech
learning,
continual
that's right. Between you and your tech staff, boy, that's good to know young people.
That's right.
Yes, it is. On the mic, Mike, we got to go. Take care.
Yeah, I can't even remember.